Inland's coastline is steeped in history, legend, and secrets held tight within its ancient stones. Beneath the dramatic cliffs and windswept moors of Cornwall, whispers persist of forgotten pathways, hidden chambers, and the echoes of powers that predate recorded time. It was into this evocative landscape, driven by a consuming obsession with these legends, that British explorer George Vanwick led his ill-fated expedition in 1810, vanishing into the darkness and leaving behind a mystery sealed by government secrecy. The year is 1810. Britain is embroiled in the Napoleonic Wars, but exploration and antiquarian curiosity still grip the minds of gentlemen like Vanwick. He wasn't searching for gold or new trade routes. His quest was more esoteric, fueled by persistent local lore and perhaps obscure historical texts. He believed that the labyrinthine cave systems riddling the rugged southwest coast near Cornwall held a specific secret. Hidden tunnels engineered not by nature, but by the ancient Druids. These weren't just passages, they were rumored to be sacred sites, repositories of lost knowledge, or perhaps even gateways to somewhere else. Vanwick assembled a team of 12 individuals besides himself. Likely a mix of experienced local guides familiar with the treacherous coastline, sturdy laborers for excavation, and perhaps a scholar or two to document any findings. They departed from a Cornish port, equipped with the rudimentary tools of the era. Ropes, picks, shovels, oil lanterns casting flickering, inadequate light against the profound darkness they intended to penetrate. Their destination: a specific stretch of coastline known for its complex network of caves and fissures, some accessible only at low tide, many completely unmapped. Their stated goal was clear: to locate and explore the legendary Druid tunnels. To prove their existence, map their extent, and perhaps uncover artifacts or inscriptions left by those enigmatic figures of Britain's pre-Roman past. It was an ambitious, dangerous undertaking. Cave exploration in 1810 was fraught with perils: sudden flooding, collapsing passages, hidden drops, foul air, and the simple, terrifying reality of getting lost in the disorienting dark, far from any hope of rescue. Initial contact, likely through messages carried back by arrangement or pre-agreed signals, presumably confirmed their arrival and the commencement of their subterranean search. Vanwick, known for his meticulous planning, would have had some system in place. But then, the designated time for the next communication passed. Silence. Days stretched into a week, then two. Worry began to mount among those who had financed or supported the expedition back in Cornwall or London. A rescue party was organized. Composed of experienced seamen, miners familiar with underground hazards, and perhaps concerned associates of Vanwick, they set out, following the expedition's stated route. They scanned the cliffs, searched known cave entrances, calling out Vanwick's name into the echoing darkness and the crashing waves. Eventually, they found it. Not the expedition itself, but its last known surface camp. Pitched in a small cove or atop a cliff overlooking the target cave systems, it was a chilling tableau. The camp was deserted. A fire pit held cold ashes. Some basic supplies, perhaps discarded food containers, a spare coil of rope, a broken tool remained, suggesting the camp had been used recently, but abandoned. There were no signs of violence, no indication of an animal attack, no desperate messages left behind. It was simply empty, as if the 13 men had walked away or been taken. But there was something else. Something deeply unsettling. Etched crudely, yet deliberately, into a nearby rock faced perhaps at the entrance to the main cave they were exploring were symbols. These weren't recognizable local markings, nor standard navigational aids. They didn't appear to be Roman, Celtic, or any known runic script. Descriptions passed down unofficially called them strange, geometric, unlike anything commonly seen in Britain. Their meaning, their origin, their purpose utterly unknown. Were they a warning? A signature? A ritualistic marking connected to whatever the expedition found, or whatever found them? The rescue party, finding no trace of the men themselves either in the camp or the accessible upper reaches of the caves, returned with the grim news and the disturbing account of the symbols. This triggered a more formal investigation. Given Vanwick's connections and the unusual circumstances, the matter likely escalated beyond local authorities. officials, possibly agents connected to the Home Office, became involved. They examined the site, interviewed the rescue team, collected Vanwick's preliminary notes if any were found. And then, a familiar pattern in such unsettling tales. Silence and secrecy. The official findings of the investigation were never made public. All documents, reports, witness statements, and any sketches made of the strange symbols were gathered and subsequently classified by the British Home Office. Access was denied, inquiries stonewalled. The entire affair was buried under layers of official secrecy that remain largely intact to this day. Officially, the Vanwick expedition is simply listed as an unsolved disappearance. Why classify the records of a missing exploration party? If they simply got lost or succumbed to a natural disaster within the caves, why the need for such enduring secrecy? Did Vanwick's expedition actually find something related to the Druids, perhaps tunnels far more extensive or technologically advanced than imagined, or artifacts deemed too sensitive or powerful for public knowledge? Did the strange symbols hold a meaning the authorities understood but wished to suppress? Or did the investigation uncover evidence of something else entirely, something so inexplicable or potentially alarming that concealment was considered the only option? Did Vanwick and his men find the Druid tunnels, only to be lost forever within their depths? Or did they stumble upon something far more ancient, far more dangerous, heralded by the strange symbols carved as a final testament or a dire warning? The cliffs of Cornwall keep their counsel, the files remain sealed, and the fate of the 13 men who sought the secrets of the Druids in 1810 remains swallowed by darkness and silence.